Good afternoon, welcome to Premier League Live with me, Kevin Ferris, for our second game of the day. We only got the second half of Tottenham against Aston Villa, but we have the full game for you. A real treat at Old Trafford as Manchester United take on Chelsea. A rivalry of old and of new, really, because two sides that really haven't been at their best over the last number of years. Mediocre mid-table has really been the common theme between these two over the last number of years. They're hoping to get back to the heights of old, where they were the top teams in this league and going for league titles against each other. For now, that seems a long way off. Manchester United are awaiting their 7th manager since Sir Alex Ferguson was retired back in 2013. Ruben Amorim takes full charge after the next international break. For now, former legendary player Ruud van Nistelrooy is in charge. He took charge in midweek for his first game with a win against Leicester in the Carabao Cup. It's now his first Premier League game, and he's got one of his old foes while he was a player in Chelsea up against him. A Manchester United side that sit in mid-table at the moment, and even with a win this afternoon, they would only go as high as 11th. For Chelsea, well, they can break into the top 4, even the top 3 today, if they were to leave Old Trafford with a victory. We will see. Let's have a look at the two teams then, starting with the home side with Ruud van Nistelrooy, his first Premier League game in charge of Manchester United. Andre Onana starts in goal, a back 4 of Noussair Mazraoui, Matthijs de Ligt, Lisandro Martinez and Diogo Dalot. A midfield 2 of Manuel Ugarte and Casemiro alongside each other in that double pivot, with Bruno Fernandes the central focus in the 10. He captains the side. Marcus Rashford is the right winger. Alejandro Garnacho comes off the left hand side, and Rasmus Højlund leads the line. It's a Manchester United side that have scored just 8 Premier League goals this season. That's less than the games they've played. For Chelsea, Robert Sanchez starts in goal. Malo Gusto, Wesley Fofana, Levi Colwill and Reece James are the defence, with James the captain. Romeo Lavia and Moises Caicedo are the centre midfielders, with Cole Palmer in the 10. Noni Madueke off the right, Pedro Neto off the left, and Nicholas Jackson, who's been firing the goals as of recently, he starts up front. Chelsea have a decent away record this season, winning 3 of their 4 away games. However, their last away game was at Anfield and they fell 2 defeats. Can they bounce back, or will Manchester United impose what has been a very tame attack on a Chelsea defence that looks ready to go? Kickoff at Old Trafford is next. Good afternoon and welcome to Premier League Live for our second game of the day, and as Take Me Home Country Roads from John Denver rings around Old Trafford. Is that their new theme? I'm guessing it is, but certainly not a traditional anthem to start a game of football, but that is Manchester United's, and they need to get an anthem, something to bring them together, because this is a team that has been battered and bruised and horrifically dealt with over the last number of years. It's been 11 years of hurt and pain and real treachery for Manchester United, up and down, and they'll be hoping that the next one, Ruben Amorim, will be the one that will bring success back to Old Trafford. But for now, it's Ruud van Nistelrooy that looks to just carry the reins and be that interim to carry Manchester United through. The little bounce against Leicester in midweek, and they want to capitalise upon against another side in blue this afternoon. As we get underway at Old Trafford, the cauldron of noise ensues. Chelsea, as I said, have been pretty good on the road this season, but they'll be hoping that that continues this afternoon. A Manchester United team that have made Old Trafford anything but a cauldron, having won 2 of their 4 home games and losing 2 as well before this one. They sit in a dismal 14th in terms of their home form of any Premier League side this season. Chelsea, and their away form, is the 5th best of any Premier League side. And an early free kick here for United. High up the field, Bruno Fernandes to take. An early chance for United to try and threaten this Chelsea defence. Fernandes, right-footed, into the box it comes. Headed away by Chelsea. Mazraoui tries to bring it back, but Palmer tries to find Jackson in behind with United. Lots of bodies up the field, but the bounce beats Jackson, and Fernandes brings it under United control. Well, really, you have to be honest in saying that it really has been topsy-turvy watching Manchester United this season, but certainly not thrashing in the goals as Rashford tries to break down what is a good Chelsea bit of possession. Good interception by Mazraoui. Now Fernandes to Højlund. Lots of Chelsea bodies out in that side, trying to close down the United attack as the home side come back to Matthijs de Ligt. And now Dalot. So, interestingly, we had Mazraoui starting at right back and Dalot starting at left back. It's actually the opposite way around. Dalot starts at right back and Mazraoui starts on the left. And we'll see what that means and what that does to this situation then. Martinez pops it up the front. Højlund tries to flick it round Wesley Fofana, but good covering by Colwill. Gets it back to Sanchez. And really, let's be honest, Chelsea, albeit a good away record, if you take into account Manchester United, they haven't won at Old Trafford since Sir Alex Ferguson was the Manchester United manager. He was back, it was the last season, May 2013, and Chelsea won by 1-0 here. Since then, every Premier League meeting here at Old Trafford has either ended in a draw or a Manchester United win. So certainly not a happy hunting ground for Chelsea in the last few years. Ball played into Gusto. Gusto won with the overlap with a cross. Bouncing ball into the hands of Onana. Decent opportunity for Chelsea there. Gusto took it on the overlap and tried to cross it into the box. Maybe a tame cross, really. Decent opportunity. As Fernandes tries to find Højlund in behind, but the pace of the ball finds its way through to Robert Sanchez. Both sides just feeling each other out early doors, figuring out their little possessions and their passes and their combinations early doors. And really, it's been, to be honest, talking about Manchester United this season, it's been a lack of cohesion, a lack of initiative and incentiveness, but also the lack of finishing. I mean, we talk about it, they almost scored as many goals in midweek as they've scored in the Premier League all season. They scored 5 against Leicester in midweek. They've only scored 8 Premier League goals so in 9 games, so it's certainly not one of those where it's been happy watching United. It's not been entertaining, shall we say. Certainly the opposite with Chelsea. They've certainly entertained us many a time this season. And these two entertained us at Stamford Bridge last season as well. And that incredible 4-3 game that was just absolutely kind of unbelievable is the only word you can really say. 3-2 up Manchester United into the 99th minute. And a 100th minute equaliser and a 101st minute winner for Chelsea to turn the game on its head. An absolutely incredible end to that game. If we get something of the same, we'll have a treat this afternoon. As Fernandez there, just beaten to it. Decent start for Manchester United, keeping the ball well. Rashford into Højlund, back to Ugarte. Now Dalot. Back to Martinez. He's trying to break into space, chips it forward to find Mazraoui. Sorry, he just kind of slipped there. Nusir Mazraoui, and Chelsea win it back to Gusto. Here's Lavia, lots of space in the middle. Threads it through for Palmer. Bodies forward for Chelsea. Here's Pedro Neto off the left. Palmer goes round the outside of him. Neto finds Palmer. Palmer with a left-footed cross, but too much on that one from the young Englishman. And it goes out for a Manchester United throw on the far side. But it was a good opportunity for Chelsea. You just see it, the ball comes into Lavia, and the gaps open up. There's kind of an insurmountable amount of space for Chelsea to break into, and they'd 4 bodies forward. Palmer, Neto, Jackson and Madueke all charging towards that United defence, and luckily for United, in their point of view, Chelsea weren't able to capitalise. As the crowd singing along to help their side find their momentum in this game. Reece James with a header. Back it comes to Dalot. Caicedo tried to head it back into space, but given away as Colwill commits himself and gives away the foul on Rasmus Højlund. Free kick to Manchester United, about the halfway line. Referee this afternoon is Rob Jones, and our VAR is Michael Salisbury. De Ligt to Martinez. Now Ugarte, under pressure from his opposite number in Moises Caicedo, and it forces Manuel Ugarte to put the ball straight out of play for a Chelsea throw. That was one of the key components that was quite impressive when Chelsea went to Anfield a few weeks ago, was the amount of pressure they put on their opponent, even against Newcastle last week. Chelsea, one of their biggest kind of attributes is their press and how aggressive and how tough it is to beat. The Manchester United side that really couldn't press a big red button in front of them. Press is so inaccurate and so kind of unpredictable when it comes to Manchester United. Here's James. Knocks it forward, looking for the run of Pedro Neto, but Diogo Dalot watched that one all the way and dealt with it comfortably. As here's Casemiro, back to Dalot. Up the field it goes, the bouncing ball intercepted by James, but picked up by Casemiro, nicked away from him. Here comes Caicedo, and now Palmer into the box. Cole Palmer! Shot blocked, corner to Chelsea. Again, it just shows you how quickly Chelsea can break on United. Casemiro just tries to get the ball across to Ugarte. Good pressure by Caicedo. Cuts it apart and then feeds it through to Palmer, who takes on De Ligt. Tries to shoot right through him. And the shot comes off Matthijs De Ligt and goes behind for a corner. Decent initiative and incentive there from Chelsea. And now a corner for Reece James to deliver. Right-footed delivery, in swinging, and it just goes over the bar. For Onana got a hand to it. Tried to curl it right on to the head of Andre Onana, but ultimately went behind. There's 2 players in the United goal there. There's Mazraoui and Lavia tussling inside the Manchester United goal. I mean, it's not often you see that, but it did happen on that occasion. An entertaining start here at Old Trafford. Manchester United, with a win, as I said, would only go as high as 11th. That would mean they would have 14 points after 10 league games. Lovely touch by Højlund. Garnacho, terrible pass, straight into Caicedo. Lavia under pressure. Does just enough. James to Palmer. Now Caicedo, who's bundled over by Bruno Fernandes. Taken quickly by Caicedo. Now finds Gusto. Not a great ball at all. Straight at Mazraoui, who finds Rashford. Now Mazraoui. Trying to break away from pressure. Good hold up. Finds Casemiro. Now it comes to Fernandes, who tries to find Rashford down the left-hand side, but Malo Gusto covering over. And Chelsea will get the throw in. It's really been entertaining so far, but also at the same time it's been quite below par from both sides in terms of keeping the ball. Manchester United, as I said, would go 11th with a win. Chelsea, with a win, would go up to 3rd in the Premier League, taking over currently 3rd place Nottingham Forest. Can you believe that? A draw would be enough to put Chelsea above Arsenal, only on goal difference though, above the Gunners. That would mean Arsenal are not the top team in London, if that were to transpire. Spurs have closed the gap as well a bit earlier on. That defeat of Aston Villa. It's really kind of concertinaing, if that's a word. It's just really kind of squeezing up between those middle section of the teams. The likes of Nottingham Forest, Chelsea, Arsenal, Villa, Spurs, Brighton, even Bournemouth and Newcastle are in that mix. 4 points separate the teams in 3rd to 10th in the table. And there's a bigger gap between 2nd and 3rd and 3rd and 10th. That shows you how tight it really is at the top of the Premier League. The ball comes right the way through, trying to find Jackson, but well closed off by United. The ball won back by Fofana though. Gives it back to Sanchez, who goes long. Header won by Martinez. Brought down nicely by Gusto. And Caicedo gives it back to Fofana. Sanchez. Through the lines, finds Caicedo. Lovely turn by Lavia. Breaks away from his man. Look at the space open up again. Here is Gusto. Out wide to Madueke. Noni Madueke, his first real attack. As finds Gusto. And Malo Gusto wins Chelsea a corner. Just that fluidity from Chelsea in between the lines. It just seems like, at the moment, the positions that Malo Gusto's picking up, almost like a right midfielder in that sense, and doing the underlap on his winger. We see that more often now, fullbacks underlapping wingers rather than overlapping, in a sense, going on the inside of a winger rather than on the outside, and it wins Chelsea a corner. Left-footed delivery by Palmer, headed on, and the second one is wide. Goodness me. Fofana with a header. I think it bounces away, and then it's Colwell with the second shot. And he's gone down, Levi Colwell. We'll see this again. Corner delivered in. Header by Fofana off the post. And then the bouncing ball. Yeah, it actually come off Madueke. It was Fofana was there on the scene. Madueke hit the post, and then Colwell had the shot blocked. Yeah. Colwell had the shot gone wide, sorry. We're calling for a foul on Casemiro, but the referee didn't see any of that, and Levi Colwell is the one down at the moment, so he will receive a bit of treatment, it seems. Hurt himself in the process. Trying to take that shot. He actually isn't going to receive a bit of treatment. He's okay. Levi Colwell. Yeah, just seeing that moment again. There's just really nothing in that, to be honest. VAR cleared up all of that, whatever they were checking for. I have no idea. I don't think it was a penalty or anything like that in the situation, but whatever VAR we're looking at, they've cleared up. Anyway, 14.5 minutes gone, 0-0. Chelsea have certainly found a bit more fluidity in the final third than Manchester United so far. United Struggling to get the ball forward. Lovely ball by James. Right it to Madueke on the right hand side. Up against Mazraoui. Madueke trying to flick and trick his way around Mazraoui, but couldn't get past him that time. Gusto back to Lavia. Now Colwell. All the Chelsea outfield players in the United half. Lavia. Madueke. Gusto. Tried to return it to Madueke, but misplaced it. Now Rashford can burst down that left-hand side. Gusto on the scene, as was Fofana. And Fofana gets in the way, and United will get a corner off Marcus Rashford's run down the left flank. It's probably the best attack that United have put together so far, and really it comes off a mistake by Chelsea. And then Marcus Rashford makes the most out of the situation and gets United their first corner of the game. Fernandes will take it, of course. And they put a lot of bodies in the box here, United. Right-footed delivery. Bouncing ball. Lavia gets it clear. Not convincing. Oh, they've left it for each other there. Madueke and Palmer. Now Dallo. Good challenge by Madueke. Through to Palmer now. Now finds Caicedo. Bit of space for Chelsea to break free here. Caicedo tries to find the runner Jackson, but good covering over there by Nasser Mazraoui. Spotted the chance, spotted the run, and made sure he got the better of it to keep his team, get them back in possession. It's a good battle so far. The ball's brought down by Lavia. Now out on the right is Madueke. Neto's come off to this side. Here is Pedro Neto. Spins past Martinez. Back it comes with Neto. And has to give it back to Madueke. Just looked untouchable there for a second, did Pedro Neto. 3 United players around him. None of them could get a touch on the ball. Colwell. To James. Chelsea certainly moving it with pace and certainly with intent at the moment. Fofana. Right to Reece James. Now to Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer, who scored those 2 late goals against Manchester United at the end of last season to win the game for Chelsea. Had an incredible season last season, did Palmer. He's having a very good start to this campaign as well. Seven Premier League goals for Cole Palmer this season. Only Chris Wood, Brian Mbeumo and Erling Haaland have more. As Jackson feeds it to Palmer now. Here is Cole Palmer. Beats his man and Casemiro. Gives it out to Neto. Neto with a cross deep to the back post. Madueke was the target. But again, Martinez got in the way. And that ball will go out for a goal kick. Just really good movement from Chelsea. That's what's been so impressive so far, is their ability to kind of move the ball with pace and fluidity and such quality. That's what's been the most impressive part of this game. As this shot over the bar by Caicedo there. Casemiro almost had a shocker. I didn't see it, but let's see this again. It's from Onana. Goodness me. Andre Onana is absolutely almost sold his team down the river there. Ball into Casemiro, and there's 3 Chelsea players in the box, and the pressure is on, and I don't know what that's all about. They get away with it, United. We were watching the replay from the previous Chelsea move, and that happened. Goodness me. Lovely touch by Garnacho. Finds Fernandes. Fernandes' cross. Certainly threatening. Højlund couldn't get to it, and Sanchez palmed it away. Good pressure from United. Haven't had a shot yet in the game. Onana. And Martinez. That little moment just got the crowd up here at Old Trafford. Fernandes. Into the half space to find Hoyland, but well closed down by Chelsea, although the referee has deemed it a foul by Fofana, and a free kick to Manchester United. Well, United have won the last 2 games against Chelsea at home. 2-1 last season and 4-1 the season prior. Scott McTominay with both goals last season for United. Cole Palmer got the only Chelsea goal on that day. And the 4-1 win for United the previous season. They were 4-0 up in the game before Chelsea got their late consolation. Casemiro, Martial, Fernandes and Rashford, the scorers that day for United. It's actually one other interesting trend is United have had penalties in the last 2 games at home against Chelsea. 1 missed and 1 scored. Both taken by Bruno Fernandes, of course. Here's Rashford. Mazraoui, nice flick, finds Casemiro, back to Mazraoui. Mazraoui in behind for Rashford. Rashford trying to break into the box. Marcus Rashford! And then the follow-up by Fernandes is wide. I think Rasmus Højlund was caught on the way through there. And caught in the face, maybe. We'll see this again. It's Rashford. It's Mazraoui. Lovely bit of skill. Rashford trying to dink his way around. Absolutely spins Malo Gusto. Gets to the byline, tries to sneak it past Robert Sanchez, who makes a good save. And then the rebound for Fernandes is up. But we just see this little collision between Levi Colwill and Rasmus Højlund. I mean, there's nothing really in that, to be honest. Looking at it again, I can see why the referee had no issue with it, because there's nothing in it. Goal kick to Chelsea. Of course, VAR, we're checking for a possible penalty, but nothing doing there, and checked and cleared by VAR, and Rashford has had to be helped back to his feet after we talk about that notorious hill off the pitch, that massive dip off the Old Trafford pitch that sends players flying off the field of play and into the advertising hoardings. After he got his ball across, he was clipped out of play by Wesley Fofana, and he gets sent into the advertising boards behind the goal, did Rashford. He's okay, but certainly took a right thump. Here's Lavia. Squeezes it through into the little space by Jackson, and now Neto breaks away from his man. Now Gusto, out to Madueke. Chelsea on the move again. Here's Madueke, into the box he comes, right-footed cross, well blocked by Mazraoui. Fabulous defending by Nasser Mazraoui, and now Chelsea have a bit of defending to do themselves, because here comes Højlund. He's got Rashford and Garnacho. Plays it in. Rashford leaves it. Here's Alejandro Garnacho. Straight out Sanchez. Goodness me. From one end to the other. In a matter of seconds, that was. It's Caicedo bundled over in the middle. No foul. Here's Højlund. Can't find the space past Fofana. And now Fofana will get the free kick against Rasmus Højlund. Goodness. Up one end, Madueke tries to break past Mazraoui. Mazraoui then clears it. It falls to Højlund, who charges forward. He squares it across. Rashford leaves it in the middle, and then it falls to Garnacho on the edge of the box. Tries to curl it, but hits it straight at Robert Sanchez, and really comes to nothing but 2 very good moments in the game. And the game's starting to open up a bit more now. Jackson into Gusto, has to come back to Fofana. Across to Colwill. James looking for the right pass, tries to chip it up the middle. The bouncing ball. Gusto made the run, cuts it back for Nicholas Jackson, who wasn't given the time or space to take the shot, because Martinez was coming flying in and put Nicholas Jackson off, really. The ball by Reece James. Fabulous ball over the top, and Gusto just makes the run in between the two centre defenders. Or it was actually Ugarte and De Ligt, and it's really poor from United that. They got away with one, but that had went in. Would have been a calamity of errors at the back. As there's going to be a free kick here for Chelsea. A hold on Levi Colwill by Rasmus Højlund. Fofana to Colwill. Lavia. Back to Wesley Fofana. Oh, Lavia almost getting caught in possession. Chelsea just about get away with it. Caicedo. Gusto. Now to Lavia again. Out wide it goes to Neto. Back to James Palmer. Chelsea just looking to keep the ball. Fofana. Now Madueke. Down the right comes Gusto. Battling with Martinez. Still alive as Gusto's ball. Back it comes to Caicedo. Try to play it across, blocked. Get another chance at it. Lavia now. James. Out to Pedro Neto on the left. Cross to James, and now Palmer. As Lavia has his pocket picked there by Casemiro, and now Højlund tries to play in Garnacho, but the flag is up right away against Alejandro Garnacho, and it is quite clearly an issue. Yeah, just takes a bit too long, Rasmus Højlund, to play the ball, and by that point Garnacho is just offside, and you can see the frustration in Garnacho there as he throws the ball into the ground. There's a decent opportunity for Manchester United there, ultimately coming to nothing in the end. Well, neither of these sides have actually kept clean sheets recently. United are without a clean sheet in 4 games. Chelsea without a clean sheet in 7 games so far. So expecting goals this afternoon. Man United's last clean sheet was a 0-0 draw with Aston Villa, whereas Chelsea's last clean sheet was a 5-0 win against Barrow in the Carabao Cup 3rd round back in September. So they went the whole month of October without a clean sheet, did Chelsea. Only on 2 occasions did they fail to score, concede more than they conceded more than 1 goal on 2 occasions throughout the month of October. Of course, progressed to the quarter-finals of the Carabao Cup. Did both of these two in midweek. Man United's 5-2 win against Leicester, and Chelsea's 2-1 win against Newcastle. Last weekend, that was the league game. It was the 3-0 defeat for Chelsea. Actually, got myself confused there because they've played Newcastle twice in a week. It confused me. They went out of the cup, did Chelsea, in midweek with that 2-0 defeat away at Newcastle, with a 2-1 win against Newcastle in the league, and United with a 5-2 win in the 4th round against Leicester. So no quarter-finals for last season's finalists, Chelsea. But a quarter-final for Manchester United, who are the 2023 winners of the Carabao Cup. Under Erik ten Hag, one of his 2 trophies that he picked up here. Lavia did just enough to get the ball back to James. Now Palmer crossing the halfway line. Look at the space in front of Cole Palmer. Squares it across. Finds Malo Gusto. Wanted to take the shot. Plays it forward to Madueke at the byline. Cross blocked by Mazraoui. It will be a Chelsea corner. see it every time that Chelsea break in midfield. There's so much space to exploit. Something Man United need to be very, very wary of and careful about. Because Chelsea have so many threatening players in the middle that can hurt you. We have a corner here. Delivered into the box, but there's going to be a free kick to Manchester United for a foul in there, so that comes to nothing. 30 minutes gone at Old Trafford. Man United 0, Chelsea 0. Really, I'd say the closest we've come to a goal. I'm trying to remember what the closest moment we've come to a goal. Probably. I actually can't remember. Marcus Rashford maybe, from that tight angle, and then Bruno Fernandes shot over the bar. That's the only. There's only one shot on target in the game. That's why I'm struggling to find opportunities. Maybe Garnacho's one straight at. Sanchez is probably the closest, so neither goalkeeper being massively tested so far. In the grand scheme of things, as Fernandes does really well, but ultimately he's going to be pulled back here for a free kick. He did well, he was fouled, and then the referee played advantage down the left. But when there was no advantage, he's just going to pull it back for a free kick to United. And Bruno Fernandes pulled down by Caicedo. And just getting a talking to is the Chelsea midfielder. I mean, he did try and stretch for the ball, but he did take out Bruno Fernandes in the process, so... So a free kick to United. No yellow card for Caicedo, just a talking to by the referee. Dalot. Tried to flick it on for Rashford, who'd switched out to the right, but Reece James got in the way. Out for a United throw-in. Fernandes. Under pressure there from Colwell, who stepped into the middle. Won it back. Plays it to Neto. Now Caicedo. Good pressing by Chelsea. Lavia. Now out to Madueke. Through the lines to find Gusto. Gusto again won the first time cross. Took a touch off Casemiro. And it will be a Chelsea corner. Cole Palmer to take another corner here for Chelsea in this right hand side. Under the Old Trafford lights. Takes it short this time. James back to Palmer. Left footed delivery. Oh, it's just given away. Goodness me, Onana had to have two chances at saving it. He gathered it, then let go of it. And it bounced back up into Onana's hands. From that Cole Palmer cross, that could have been nervy for a moment there. He palmed it into space and then just about gathers it at the second time of asking, does Onana. Gets lucky. Could have been a hearts in minds moment there for the players and the fans. It's Casemiro's hoof ball. Dalot brought it down. It was called a handball from Chelsea there. It might have looked like it come off his elbow, but it certainly wasn't handball. In my opinion, anyway. Fofana puts it out for a United throw with a no-nonsense clearance. Seems like United have maybe just got a little bit of momentum in their favour in the last few minutes. They've kind of swapped the attackers. Garnacho off the left and Rashford off the right now. At least for the moment, anyway. They've just switched them. Just trying different opportunities. That's a terrible giveaway there. Cole Palmer there to sniff it. And he's coming forward. Palmer. Cole Palmer has the time and space. He will hit it. Well charged down by De Ligt. Lavia wins it back. Now Caicedo. Jackson now. Into the box it comes. Back with Caicedo. Now James again. And Chelsea giving the ball back by a poor giveaway by United. Simple pass back to the Man United defence that was pounced upon by Cole Palmer. And now he has Chelsea back in possession. 10 minutes to go with the first half. Neto. Back to James. Reece James tried to squeeze it through a little gap. He gives it away now, and Ugarte's the one to pick it up. Emmanuel Ugarte striding forward. Bouncing ball into the box. Hoyland. Which is a good save off Sanchez, but I think the foul had already been given by the referee. Well, the referee's quite lucky that Sanchez made the save, because he blew the whistle before Rasmus Højlund had a shot, and if it had went in, it wouldn't have counted because the whistle had already gone. Luckily for the referee, in his point of view, that Sanchez forced it wide. But free kick anyway for Manchester United on the edge of the box, and Malo Gusto's been given a yellow card for that challenge and foul on Manuel Ugarte. Now this could be the big moment of this first half. Rashford, Fernandes, Casemiro in conversation. Casemiro's just walking away now. I mean, there's no question it should be, and probably would be, Bruno Fernandes to take this set piece, but Rashford is there. If someone else is going to take it, it would be either Fernandes or Rashford. Just getting themselves organised now, Manchester United. The referee was organising the Chelsea wall, making sure all is well. And let's see what they can do from here. Edge of the D, bit to the left. Actually, hold on a minute. The referee's just going to have a chat here with a couple around this wall. Players of both teams. The referee just has to reset everything again. Now we're ready to take it then. Bruno Fernandes walks back. Whistle goes. Bruno Fernandes looks at the ball and it hits the wall. Comes to nothing. Pretty anticlimactic, really, in the end. Though Fernandes, lovely ball in behind. Garnacho with a cutback. Good clearance by Sanchez. Still alive. Rashford back into the middle, but straight at Robert Sanchez. And about 2 or 3 opportunities there in a matter of seconds for United, and they all come to nothing. Free kick hit the wall. Very anticlimactic, really. All that build up for Bruno Fernandes just to smash it against the Chelsea wall. Colwell, Fofana, right to the right hand side, and Madueke wins the throw in for Chelsea off Nasser Mazraoui. Just in the Chelsea half. Again, the Chelsea throw in. United win it back in the middle. Back it comes to Martinez. Now De Ligt. Back to Dalot. Gives it back to Onana. Onana in no hurry to get the ball moving as Palmer tried to press him. The ball forward. Intercepted now by Lavia. One back by Casemiro. In the tight space, Fernandes. battling, but Caicedo comes away with it and plays it forward. Here's Madueke into Jackson. Jackson on the spin. Outside the box now, squares it across to Lavia. Lavia trying to squeeze it through, but couldn't find Malo Gusto on the right. Goal kick to Manchester United. Well, both sides are really quite kind of inaccurate in the final third at the moment. This is really not working at the moment for either team. Certainly an even game at Old Trafford, and the scoreline certainly shows that. With less than 5 minutes to go with the first half. Here's Matthijs de Ligt. Dallo moves it forward. James wins the header. Bouncing ball, just nicked by Lavia. Okay, good from Caicedo. Just to link it up. Finds Jackson, who's dropping deeper and pulled down there by Lisandro Martinez, who argues the counter against the referee's decision to give a free kick. A free kick given to Chelsea. Back it comes to Reece James. Lovely touch by Palmer. Beautiful touch into the space. Passes it to himself there and gets cleaned out. Cole Palmer by Manuel Ugarte. And that will be a yellow card to the Manchester United midfielder. Absolutely incredible from Cole Palmer. How he does this. It's just a first time touch pass to himself. Through to Manchester United players and Casemiro and Rashford. I mean, that's just fabulous. It's glorious to watch. And Manuel Ugarte gets his second yellow card of the season. And giving away that free kick to Cole Palmer about 5 seconds after that beautiful bit of skill. Well, it's a good distance out here. It would be optimistic if they were going to try and go straight directly to goal. I think this is more of a delivery type free kick. That's why Reece James is over it alongside Cole Palmer. United's defensive line on the edge of their own box. The free kick's about 29 yards out. Slightly to the left. It's not incredibly far, but could be within range. Let's see. It will be Palmer. Delivers it deep. And it's still bouncing in the middle. Cleared away by Højlund. Gusto's header. Oh, almost puts Chelsea under pressure there, as James was alert. A free kick from Cole Palmer. Delivered into the box, and ultimately United dealt with it well. As Casemiro. Out to Garnacho. Now Højlund. Trying to return the favour to Garnacho. Gets it back to Rasmus Højlund. Couldn't flick it past Lavia. Now brought down by Madueke. He's spinning away from his marker in Mazraoui, but forced back into his own defensive third. And a great challenge by Mazraoui to win it back. Now Garnacho. Couldn't find a way through that time. Very scrappy all of a sudden, as Gusto clears it away. But straight back to Manchester United. Last minute of the first half. Martinez, and the ball to Garnacho goes out of play. Throw into Chelsea. I have to say, from a Man United point of view, their best player's probably been Noussair Mazraoui in this first half, to be honest. Intercepting plays, making some nice passes, really good defensively, but he's had a lot to asked of him. From a Chelsea point of view, I'd probably say obviously Cole Palmer is one of those top players. I think the Chelsea midfield have done well, and Caicedo and Lavia. Here is Caicedo. And a lovely ball to try and find Neto. Does well to keep it in. Neto now beats past Dallo and gets upended by the Portuguese, and it will be a free kick to Chelsea. So the referee just wanted to play advantage, but there was no advantage, so a free kick to Chelsea and a yellow card to Diogo Dallo. And we will have, on top of that, 2 added minutes at the end of the first half. It's Dallo's 3rd yellow card of the season, by the way. So, decent free kick last time round. Reece James and Cole Palmer over it again. A lot wider this time. Up further to the left-hand side of the field. Let's see what they can deliver here. Neto's the wide option if they want to go short from the free kick. They do have that wide option. Let's see. It's Cole Palmer. Left-footed delivery into the box. Away by Casemiro. And Garnacho hoofs it up the fields. So well defended again by Manchester United. And the last minute of the 2 added here in this first half. Here's Palmer. Across to Gusto. Back it comes to Colwell. And now James. Reece James squeezes it through to find Gusto in between the lines. And he tried to find the ball forward. But Jackson went one way and Gusto's ball went the other. And Man United recover. Fernandes flicks it to Mazraoui. Now down the left comes Garnacho. Could Man United end the half on a high? Garnacho. Back to Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes with a chip ball forward to Rashford. It might come off the post there and go over. Goodness me. And that is the end of the half. And that is probably the closest that we've come to a goal in the first. It's a lovely ball by Fernandes, and Rashford clips the crossbar and it goes flying over. Goodness me. Incredibly close, but no cigar. And that sums up the first half. A first half where both sides really couldn't grasp the momentum, couldn't grasp the control, and certainly haven't really tested either goalkeeper as of yet. Half-time at Old Trafford. It is Manchester United 0, Chelsea 0. Welcome back to Premier League Live. Half-time at Old Trafford is Manchester United 0, Chelsea 0. We're going to do a quick kind of talk about that first half, and then we'll recap all of the Premier League results so far this weekend in this half-time segment. In that first half, again, 0-0 between United and Chelsea at the break. And really, it was a first half where neither side really tested the goalkeeper. I mean, 2 shots on target in total in that first half, 1 for each team. And other than half chances, there's been very little in terms of goal-mouth action in the game. Set pieces have been a key component to both sides, finding threat in the final third. But really, it's been, I wouldn't say a slog or a struggle. What I would just say is both sides need a bit more quality in the game. And I think we're almost getting there. It's just not, either team are really not showing it all over the pitch, it seems, at the moment. It's individuals that are carrying both sides through. I think I said in that first half, I think Cole Palmer's been very good for Chelsea. I think that Chelsea midfield has looked good in Lavia and Caicedo, really linking up nicely and in tight spaces, tight areas, winning the ball back, keeping the ball, feeding the balls forward. I think we've struggled to see a lot from the wide areas. Rashford, Garnacho, Neto and Madueke, the natural wingers. We've not seen much from them. Garnacho's shot straight at Sanchez, that Rashford chance is probably the best of the half. Really, that comes crashing off the crossbar. That's the closest that we've come to goal. But other than that, it's really been a half where both sides are cancelling each other out in a sense. And from a United point of view, that will be quite good. Both sides have conceded 11 goals in their 9 league games up to this point in the season. But one key component and one key attribute that still fails to be seen from Manchester United is their goal threat. So far, as I said, 8 goals so far this Premier League season. There is just now one side in the Premier League that has conceded or scored less than United, and that is Southampton, who have scored just 7 goals. They are joint second bottom for goals scored this season, United, with Crystal Palace also on 8 goals scored this season, considering Crystal Palace scored 2 yesterday as well. So it's still a whole second half where United can change that, but they need to start putting the ball into the back of the net, and that's been a struggle this season for them. So something to look at half time, considering they did score 5 in midweek. For Chelsea, again, it's just refining things in that first half. I don't think Chelsea were that bad in that first half. I actually think they were slightly the better team in that sense of they look more fluid, they look more controlled, they look much more kind of intent in what they needed to do and wanted to do in that first half. I think Manchester United were kind of playing kind of off the cuff in a sense in that first half, and again relying upon individual quality and talent to provide them with that kind of threat in the final third. But from a Chelsea point of view, it looked more kind of cohesive, more intention behind it, much more calculated in their attacking football, and I think that's something we'll have to they'll be looking forward to and will be happy with in that first half, the Chelsea fans and players and manager, but more needed to try and offer something. And again, from a United point of view, they need to be more kind of fluid in the final third, much more kind of understanding of what they want to do to be able to execute that. Because if you don't know what you're doing half the time, no one knows where to be, you don't know how to sustain attacks, and really that's been the key problem for United this season: sustaining attacks, sustaining pressure, and keeping sides on the back foot when they've got the ball. It's kind of, when United have got the ball, it looks like Chelsea look comfortable, they seem happy enough, but not really looking threatening. And I think from a Chelsea point of view, they'll be quite comfortable with that. But at the same time, both sides are it's level at half time. Both sides still very much in the game and still very much in the fight, and there's more than enough time for it to change. And we'll see if it does in the second half. And the second half is about 8 minutes away from coming for you. So let's recap what we've seen already this Premier League weekend then for you before the second half gets underway at Old Trafford. Yesterday, lunchtime here in LFS, we watched Arsenal fall to their second defeat of the season. Their back-to-back away defeats without scoring for the first time this calendar year for Arsenal. Newcastle were the victors, as they were in that exact fixture last season by the same scoreline. They beat Arsenal by a goal to nil. Alexander Isak's wonderful header from a wonderful cross by Anthony Gordon to set up that one. A beautiful goal that ended what has been a good spell. When it started a good spell for Newcastle. Yesterday, Arsenal were well below par, nowhere near the level, and certainly deserved to lose, in my opinion, yesterday, because they weren't anywhere near enough. They looked sloppy, they looked loose, they looked all off at Arsenal yesterday, and Clearly, Newcastle took advantage of that and got all 3 points. Bournemouth caused the shock of the weekend. They have never picked up, up until yesterday, they had never picked up a single point in the Premier League against Man City. Never mind beat them, but they've already beaten Arsenal this season, so why not beat their rivals Manchester City? And that they did. They took a first half lead through Antoine Semenyo after just 9 minutes. It capped off the first half where Bournemouth were by far the better side. It got even better for them when Evan Nielsen found the double and got Bournemouth 2-0 ahead into the 64th minute. It capped off what was to be a really poor day for Manchester City, and probably what some were saying has been coming, really, that defeat with their recent performances. Joško Vardiol got one back, albeit only a consolation for City in the end, as they were to fall to their first defeat of the season on the road at the Vitality Stadium. As I said, a team that they had beaten on every single meeting that they have met since their first meeting back in 2015. Manchester City have beaten them all occasions, but it has been coming. Last season they only beat them by a goal to nil, and this season they were beaten themselves. It has really been coming for City, who have lost back-to-back games in the space of a couple of days. The last time Manchester City lost back-to-back games was in their club friendlies in the pre-season. It was way last season, and it was their first, Manchester City's first league defeat since December last year. Ipswich were to be denied a first win of the season for the second time this season. Leif Davis's goal had Ipswich ahead. Calvin Phillips got a second yellow card that saw him sent off before Jordan Ayew in the 94th minute levelled for Leicester to deny them a win in Ipswich. It was to be a turnaround for Liverpool at Anfield. Brighton, who they beat in the Carabao Cup in midweek, were to come very close again. Brighton, through Ferdy Kellyolu, took the lead. It was 1-0 at half-time to Brighton, and Liverpool had failed to win any game where they were trailing by any scoreline at half-time in their previous 5 games of that distinction. But it wasn't to be for Brighton on the day. Cody Gakpo and Mohamed Salah, Mo Salah with an absolute screamer, to give Liverpool the lead in a matter of minutes. And that was to wrap up what has been a fantastic start to the season for Liverpool. And they sit aloft at the top of the table. 8 wins out of 10 Premier League games. The best start to a league season of any Liverpool manager in the modern era. Ange Postecoglou. Arne Slot is firing early doors for Liverpool. Nottingham Forest clapped off what has been an incredible start to the season for them. A 3-0 win over West Ham at home yesterday. Chris Wood in the goals. 8 Premier League goals this season for Chris Wood in firing form. Edson Alvarez was then sent off for a second bookable offence for West Ham at the end of the first half. Callum Hudson-Odoi and Ola Aina added a second and a third to Nottingham Forest's lead, which got them a convincing home victory and has them in third in the Premier League table, only behind the top 2 Liverpool and Manchester City. What a start to the season for Forest. Southampton got their first win of the season yesterday as they beat Everton by a goal to nil at St Mary's. It took to the 85th minute for there to be a breaking in the deadlock. Adam Armstrong with the goal to give Southampton the lead. Everton then thought they'd equalised in the 92nd minute. Beto, who got a last minute winner for Everton as of recently in that our last minute equaliser, against Fulham last weekend. He thought he'd done it again, but it wasn't to be. VAR got involved and ruled out that goal. Finished 1-0 to Southampton. Wolves and Crystal Palace. I was expecting a 0-0 draw, but a draw nonetheless. But a score draw. It was 0-0 at half-time. Trevor Chalobah opened the scoring for Palace after 60 minutes. Strun-Larsen and Gomez turned it around for Wolves to lead 2-1 before Mark Guehi, with 13 minutes to go, levelled again for Palace to end it 2-2. And earlier this afternoon we watched Spurs come from 1 down to beat Aston Villa by 4 goals to 1. 2 from Dominic Solanke, 1 from Brennan Johnson, and the final from James Maddison from a free kick to seal the deal for Ange Postecoglou's Spurs. So, Let's just show you what the table looks like then, as it stands, then with Chelsea and United drawing. It's Liverpool who sit top of the table, 2 points clear of Manchester City in second. Then a big gap, 4 points gap to third place Nottingham Forest. As it stands, Chelsea will be in fourth, ahead of Arsenal on 18 and on goal difference. Arsenal in fifth. Villa dropped to sixth with their defeat. Then Spurs up to seventh, above Brighton, who are in eighth. Bournemouth up to ninth, and Newcastle make up the top 10. And then the bottom half is as follows. Bottom of the league continue our Wolves on 3 points, Southampton on 4, and Ipswich on 5. Right, that is the way we stand and the way we go here in the Premier League. I will be back for the second half at Old Trafford in just a moment. Do stay with us. Welcome back to Premier League Live. Half time at Old Trafford. It is 0-0 between Manchester United and Chelsea. The second half is on the way in just a second. Don't forget though, that we're back for Champions League action in midweek. The fourth match day of the new Champions League format sees us in action this Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday night with the likes of Celtic hosting Leipzig, Sporting against Man City, and Liverpool taking on Bayer Leverkusen, the Europa League final that was never to be in the end. They meet each other in the Champions League at Anfield on Tuesday night. Wednesday night, Club Brugge host Aston Villa early doors, and the likes of Bayern take on Benfica, Inter Milan take on Arsenal, and PSG face Atletico Madrid. Fascinating fixtures to come in midweek in the Champions League. Looking forward to that as the players come back out for the second half at Old Trafford. Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on post notifications if you haven't done so already. It'd be greatly appreciated. And we thank each and every one of you who are joining us here in LFS this afternoon for this one. Looks like Marco Correa is getting a bit of information from his head coach Enzo Maresca, whether he's going to make an appearance at half-time and a substitution at half-time. We will see. So far, Ruud van Nistelrooy is unbeaten. 100% winning record. One game, one win. But halfway through the second game, and it's just a little bit more difficult for Manchester United. And there is a change at half-time for Chelsea. Marco Correa coming on and replacing Malo Gusto. So interesting, that one. United, of course, kicking towards the Stretford end in the second half, which is right to left from the camera position, and Chelsea from left to right, as we get back underway for the second half here at Old Trafford. A first half which, as I said, lacked finishing quality and ability, but so far we'll see what the second half has to offer us in this fixture. A draw hasn't been uncommon between these two over the years. There was actually a run of 5 draws in a row in this fixture between 2020 and 2022 in a 2-year spell. 2 0-0 draws and 3 1-1 draws, both at Old Trafford and at Stamford Bridge. The last time there was a 0-0 draw between these two at Old Trafford was in October 2020 in this fixture. So interesting enough on that occasion. And Mason Mount was in that Chelsea team back then. Reece James, of course, was there, obviously. The likes of Kai Havertz, Werner, Pulisic, Chilwell, etc., etc. And Frank Lampard was the head coach back then. The likes of Maguire, De Gea, Lindelof, McTominay, Dan James, Juan Mata started that day for Manchester United under the charge of course, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. That was the last time these two drew 0-0 here, over 4 years ago. Right, free kick for Chelsea. Robert Sanchez to take deep in Chelsea's half. Long ball forward. Chelsea won the first header, United won the second, but Fofana under pressure. Cucurella just about gets it away from danger. Now Madueke plays it back to Caicedo. Can't find anywhere to go. Has to turn back to Reece James, who's gone to right back. He was at left back in that first half, was Reece James. And then Cucurella has just gone to the left-hand side of this attack, but he's going to continue that same role that Malo Gusto did on the opposite side in the first half. As Fernandes has it. Back to Dalot. Now De Ligt. Now back to Onana. Onana will go long for Manchester United. Brought down by Fernandes. Mazraoui had the ball intercepted away from him by Madueke. Linking up with Palmer. Here is Noni Madueke. Breaking down that right-hand side. Tried to get past Martinez, who got in the way and won it back for United. Now Garnacho. Back to Fernandes. One thing Manchester United can acclaim for this season is that they have the second most clean sheets in the Premier League. Only Liverpool have had more clean sheets this season than Manchester United. Chelsea have 2 clean sheets. But as I said in that first half, there's only one side that have scored less than United, and that is Southampton, who continue to sit in the bottom 3. Do Southampton, so it's not good reading really for United. If United were to lose today, we talked about how both sides would go if they were to win. If United were to lose, they would drop back. I think they would actually stay in 13th. They would, because goal difference would keep them above West Ham United, depending on how many they would lose by. If they were to lose by 4-0 today, Manchester United, then they would finish, be below West Ham and in 14th by the end of the day, but that's a long way off. If Chelsea were to lose today, they would drop back into 6th in the standings. So it's not catastrophic, but a top 4 place gives you a lot of confidence after 10 games if you're in the top 4. Of course, that's kind of usually the initial benchmark of gathering where every team is in the league, how good they are, where their quality is, what form they're in. After 10 games, you take stock and figure out where the league table looks and where each team is capable of getting to this season. And if Chelsea are in that top 4, that will give them a lot of confidence going forward. As here is Casemiro for United. Had the shot well blocked. Bounces it back into the middle, but Rashford was offside, so that comes to nothing. Well, the last time Manchester United had scored 8 goals or less after 9 games in a league season, they were relegated in that same season, so it's not great reading, but it certainly would be a shock if that were to happen. Certainly would be a shock if that were to happen this season, but not scoring goals is a concern. But when you're having chances and you're missing chances, which Manchester United are this season, that is, I wouldn't call it a good sign, but what I would say is it's a sign that the threat is there, it's just not working for you at the moment. Man United are certainly up there for missed chances this season. Garnacho. Oh, couldn't find it to Casemiro. Caicedo picks it up. Here's Lavia under pressure. Well worked by United as Ugarte intercepts, but Caicedo trying to battle back. Getting a bit loose from both teams. Slavia. James back to Colwell. Now Caicedo to Neto. Cucurella on the overlap. Not given much space, but we'll get the corner at Diogo Dalot. Will Cucurella. And a corner for Chelsea. So a first corner of the second half goes the way of Chelsea. It's their fifth corner of the game for the Blues. It's a lot of Chelsea players. There's 5 of them all gathered together. I've no idea what that's all about. There's actually 6 of them. One was hiding in the middle. 6 Chelsea players all in a kind of little circle as they break away now. Corner delivered in. Up and away by Casemiro. Back in by Cucurella, but out wide it goes. Madueke does well to shield it to Fofana. Now back to Madueke. Skips away from Mazraoui. Back to Neto. And now back to Caicedo. Cucurella. Back to Moises Caicedo. Now Cole Palmer. Coming deep. As Chelsea look to maintain the possession of the ball. James. Fofana. Colwell. Levi Colwell absolutely slices one. Tried to give it wide. I don't know what that's all about. Gets it straight out of play. Really poor that from Levi Colwell. Martinez. Out wide it comes to Garnacho. Now Mazraoui. Again, both sides not really rushing things at the moment. Taking their time. Back to Onana, who's under pressure from Jackson. Gets it away. Colwell, or Fofana, sorry, with the header. Now James with a follow-up. And hoofed in the air by Martinez as it comes back down. Still in play. Lavia trying to battle for it. Gets past Ugarte. Palmer steals it away. And now out the left it comes to Neto. Space for Chelsea to break here. Pedro Neto! Just sliced wide. Ever so close by Pedro Neto. It's an arrowing effort. Really good from Palmer. Just to spot the space for Pedro Neto on the left-hand side. He charges at the goal and arrows one to try and find it into that far corner. And it was just curling away at the last second. And just goes wide. Ever so close for Pedro Neto. As a pull there on Rasmus Højlund by Colwell. Will get a free kick to Manchester United. Game certainly ebbed and flowed in that sense. Right the way through. Neither side really taking the grip of the game. Free kick for United. Fernandez quite a distance out, about 40 yards. If I do take a slight guess at it. Fernandez delivers into the box. Casemiro was the target. Fofana got the header clear. Back it comes to Garnacho though. Now Mazraoui into the half space. Ugarte finds Garnacho off the left. And Garnacho couldn't find a way through. The ball didn't go out of play as Chelsea clear their lines. Some calls of a corner there for United, but just a throw in. Ugarte back to Dalot, who has to go back to Onana. Just seems like need a goal to liven this game up. I think we get a goal at whatever end, this game will burst into life and it'll be an absolute festival of madness, really. And at the moment, Caicedo just giving away a foul, and bemused and confused by that decision is Moises Caicedo, but we'll see it again. I mean, I can understand why he's a bit annoyed. Moises Caicedo looked very soft. And you can guess what culprit that was from a Manchester United point of view that went down. Bruno Fernandes. James does well battling against Garnacho. Back to Sanchez. He spins it beautifully out to Cucurella with absolutely acres of space in front of him. And unleashes the afterburners. And now Neto trying to get past Dalot. Neto closed off by Dalot. Battling was Rashford. Neto wins it back, rolls it through the legs of Dalot, but good work by Casemiro tracking back. Now Rashford. Back to Casemiro. Again, it just seems like when one side gets a bit of momentum, a bit of a chance in the final third, the opposing defence just seems to mop it all up and deal with the situation. Martinez under pressure from Palmer here. Has backed himself into a corner, but just about gets away with it. As Garnacho comes and helps and gives it back to Onana, who will fire long up the field. Lavia with the first header. Chested down by Martinez, and United have the ball back with Casemiro. Fizzed into Mazraoui. Now Ugarte spins it beautifully out wide for Marcus Rashford. Lots of space for Rashford. Goes for the first time. Cross! And Reece James might have got something to that, but it bounces behind. And United will get a corner. Again, great ball by Ugarte. Spots Marcus Rashford in lots of space in that right flank. And Rashford, rather than take on Cucurella, sees the space open up and just whips the cross in. It bounces just ahead of Reece James, who gets his right studs to it. The studs of his right boot, and it just rolls out for a corner to Manchester United. Good opportunity. Now a chance for Bruno Fernandes to deliver. Right footed. Goes short this time, Fernandes. Now out to Rashford, Marcus Rashford. Not much curl on that one. Straight at Robert Sanchez. Easily gathered by the Chelsea goalkeeper. Caicedo to Cole Palmer for Chelsea. Well, that's the first shot on target of the second half. That was from Marcus Rashford. Palmer trying to dart it forward for Cucurella, who made the run, but well dealt with by Dalot, who just easily heads it back to his goalkeeper. Now Lisandro Martinez. Matthijs de Ligt tonight. Diogo Dalot flicked forward. Rashford couldn't win the header. Well won by Fofana. And Palmer brought down. The referee is just going to give the free kick to Chelsea against Noussair Mazraoui, and the referee's just saying it's a foul to Noussair Mazraoui. He seemed a bit bewildered by that decision, but it's certainly a foul on Cole Palmer. And a free kick to Chelsea with 30 minutes to go as we hit the hour mark here at Old Trafford. United 0, Chelsea 0. Not much between the two sides, as the scoreline suggests. Here's Madueke. Tried to go for the left-footed cross, came crashing off the chest of Mazraoui, and out for a Chelsea corner. Certainly Chelsea's best part of the game has been corners. 6 corners in this game, 3 times more than United, with only 2 corners. I mean, we're resorting to that type of talk at this stage. Palmer to deliver. Left-footed delivery into the box. Headed away by Dalot. Brought down by James. And Caicedo doesn't want to go back to his keeper. Wants to spin it back to Palmer. But again, given away. And now Chelsea have left themselves open. Garnacho keeps it in play. But The referee is going to stop the game in its tracks for something. I've no idea what for. Foul, maybe? Offside? I think it was offside. Yeah, it was an offside against Garnacho. Certainly quick with these offside calls are the officials today, which is what we like to see. No dilly-dallying or delaying. Quick, decisive action. Neto. Jackson. Linking up with Lavia. Got a bit muddled, but just about rescued it with Romeo Lavia. Has to go back to Fofana now. Back to Sanchez. And chased down by Fernandez. It's good work by Robert Sanchez to find Cole Palmer, who is then bundled over once again. This time by Manuel Ugarte. And Garnacho in the way. Free kick to Chelsea. Well, just the stat on the screen has just come up about the goal scorers, the goals per team this season. Manchester United do not have a player with more than 2 Premier League goals this season. Only Garnacho has 2 goals for United in the Premier League, and then a handful of single-digit scorers: Casemiro, De Ligt, Dalot, Højlund, Rashford, and Joshua Zirkzee. So only one Manchester United forward, or attacker, or player has more than 1 Premier League goal this season, and that's Garnacho, who has 2. No goals in the Premier League for a number of those United players, and really at the moment that's the issue. I mean, we talk about it and we take it for granted really sometimes, but it's the hardest thing to do in football, is put the ball into the back of the net. It's pretty easy to keep it out, but it's really difficult to put it in to the back of the net, that is. Don't want to take that out of context. As free kick for Chelsea, taken quickly by Fofana. Palmer, now Cucurella with a bit of space, will hit one. And the shot blocked by De Ligt. Back it comes to Lavia. Now Neto, Chelsea starting to take a bit more control of this game. Neto steps onto his right. He will shoot, but that time pretty tame and easily gathered by Onana, who dove to his right hand side. Sir Alex Ferguson watches on. Oh, giveaway by Chelsea at the back here. Bruno Fernandes breaking through for United. Fernandes, bodies in the box, cuts it back for Garnacho. What a missed opportunity. This is really bad. Chelsea, awful to give it away. And then Fernandes breaks into the box, doesn't put the cross in, cuts it back to Garnacho, and he absolutely, I don't know what he's done there. I mean, he's just hit it completely the wrong way, and it just goes bobbling into the hands of Robert Sanchez. I mean, such a let-off for Chelsea, but such a silly missed opportunity for Manchester United. That probably sums up their season so far, really, in terms of goal scoring. So many good chances, so many good areas they find themselves in, but not a killer between them to find the ball into the back of the net. And that was the downfall of Erik ten Hag last week. That's what led to it. I mean, not ultimately, part of it, of his sacking. Losing 2-1 to West Ham, albeit that controversial penalty, but we'll not talk about that. We'll talk about the many missed chances that United had in that game. How they could have been well beyond West Ham easily. As Chelsea give it away in the middle again. Maybe a bit of hope for United there from that moment. Casemiro, Rashford. Again, closed out. And lots of bodies flying here, there and everywhere. And the foul is actually going to go against Marcus Rashford here. And a free kick will go Chelsea's way. And Rashford runs over to the assistant and starts shouting in his face. And he's not going to get away with that. And he's going to get a yellow card as Marcus Rashford for that reaction, rather than the foul itself, which doesn't get, which gets what you would expect, the response from Old Trafford. The Old Trafford crowd. I can understand why, but the reaction is why he gets the yellow card, Marcus Rashford, and not the decision itself, not the foul itself, but obviously, clearly, he's reacting because he didn't think it was a foul. Anyway, Rashford gets a second booking of the season, as we have a quarter of the game to go. And Chelsea are going to make a double change in a moment. Enzo Fernandez and Mykhailo Mudryk are the ones waiting in the wings, as United get a throw in on this right hand side, which gets a cheer from the crowd as they feel the assistant has given the decision their way. The ball into the box. Rasmus Højlund brought down. Penalty. Robert Sanchez adamant that it wasn't. Referee Rob Jones saw the challenge, saw Højlund go to ground, and made no decision other than pointing straight to the spot. See this again. Ball into the box. Fofana completely misjudged it, had nowhere near it, and Højlund brought it down, controlled it with his left. Sanchez kind of flaps at it, but doesn't get any of the ball, and kind of flaps at the feet. Yeah, he flaps at the feet of Højlund. That's a penalty all day long. Yeah, for me, that's a penalty, and Sanchez gets penalised. And now Bruno Fernandes, who has missed and scored a penalty in the last 2 home games against Chelsea. Could this be the chance that turns the game in Manchester United's favour? Sanchez with a silly giveaway, silly mistake to foul Højlund. Højlund went down, referee pointed to the spot, and now Bruno Fernandes ready and waiting. Scored 4 of his last 5 penalties as Fernandes. Up against Robert Sanchez. At the Stretford end at Old Trafford. Bruno Fernandes steps up and scores! Manchester United lead. And Bruno Fernandes, their captain, gives them the lead from the penalty spots. Cool as you like. Bruno Fernandes goes to his left, and Robert Sanchez dives the opposite way. And as simple as you like penalty. And Robert Sanchez certainly is the man and the villain of the moment for Chelsea. But the man of the moment, really, for Manchester United. Manchester United 1, Chelsea 0. Bruno Fernandes. Cool as you like from Fernandes, really. Really well taken. And there we are. The difference of the day. Chelsea were involved in a mad game at Anfield in their last away game, which they gave away a penalty that Mo Salah converted. Well, Chelsea have now given away penalties in back-to-back away games in the Premier League. And they're on course for another defeat, unless they can change the outcome. Still a lot of time for that to be changed. But here come Manchester United again. Just thought that was going to stay in. It didn't. Gone out. And I said Chelsea were making changes. They now have. Madueke and Lavia are the two that make way for Enzo Fernandez and Mykhailo Mudryk. So a change in midfield and a change in attack for the Blues, who seem and probably feel like they're cursed at Old Trafford, really. They've probably been the better side today in moments. But again, United have missed multiple big chances in this game, and you can't give Man United too many chances at Old Trafford because they will punish you some way, one way or another. And it's going to be another substitution here, this time for Manchester United. Marcus Rashford is going to come off, and he's going to be replaced by Ahmad. So Ahmad on and Rashford off for Manchester United with less than 20 minutes to go. Chelsea have work to do if they want to get something out of this game. Man United, a second goal is imperative. And in terms of Manchester United this season in the league, they have only scored more than one goal in a game twice this season. Brentford at home and Southampton away are their only two games in their 9 games this season that Man United have scored more than one goal. There are a number where they haven't scored, including Liverpool at home, Palace away, Villa away. But they've scored this afternoon, and Tottenham at home, by the way, as well. Here's Neto for Chelsea, up against Ugarte. Beats past Martinez, but run out of room. And he wanted a corner, and he will get the corner. Well, Pedro Neto. As Cole Palmer comes over to take this corner for Chelsea. They've had multiple corners. Not major threat from them as of yet. It's their 7th of the game. Palmer to deliver again. Into the box it comes, away by United. The follow-up is rifled in! My goodness me! Moises Caicedo with a rocket to level the game at Old Trafford. Absolutely remarkable from Moises Caicedo. The second phase of the corner. Free as a bird at the edge of the box. And he scored one like that when he played for Brighton against Manchester United. Well, he's done the exact same thing when he plays for Chelsea against Manchester United. The corners haven't really threatened anything from the first phase. It's Casemiro with a header to clear it. And an incredible shot from the edge of the box. Absolutely rifled past Andre Onana. And gets Chelsea a lifeline. United 1, Chelsea 1. Goodness me. That is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Well, there were late goals in the fixture between these two earlier this year at Stamford Bridge. Well, they're leaving us to the last 15 minutes for a dramatic ending here at Old Trafford. An ending befitting of this type of fixture. As free kick given away by Casemiro. And you can really feel the tension now at Old Trafford. It's palpable. As Caicedo's ball forward. It falls through. Jackson cuts it back. The shot over the bar by Fernandes. Goodness me. Again, Chelsea coming close. Caicedo's ball forward takes a wicked deflection off Casemiro. Then a slip from De Ligt lets Jackson win it. And then he just cuts it back to Fernandes. And he has to keep it down. He fires it over the bar. But all of a sudden, Chelsea are almost there. And are pushing and probing United now. These latter stages. United's lead lasted just 3 minutes. Onana goes long to Fernandez. Chelsea win the header through Cucurella. Mudryk into Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez. Excuse me. As Caicedo's brought down. Free kick to Chelsea. Ruud van Nistelrooy trying to figure out what he can get his team to do to get this one over the line and win it. In the late stages. Palmer gets past Mazraoui. Has to turn back though to James. Into Caicedo. Now James again. Breaks into midfield as Reece James but gives the ball away cheaply. And now Højlund finds Garnacho. Garnacho goes across goal but goes well wide of the right post. Goal kick. Oh, actually, it's got a corner. To my surprise. Might have took a clip on Fofana on the way through. Yeah, it just takes a clip off the back of Fofana's right leg. It will be a corner to Man United. Russ says, as a Leeds fan, I hope it ends in a draw as I hate both teams. Fair enough. Well, corner is, or a draw is what it stands at the moment. Fernandez with a delivery. Punched away by Sanchez. Now Chelsea want a break. Mudryk not given the room to by Ahmad. And picked up back there by Dalot. Finally poised this game as Moises Caicedo was involved there. Mudryk giving away the handball. Delict. Dalot flicks it over the top. Højlund on the threat, but Fofana got in the way. Went down to Rasmus Højlund and is hobbling as he gets back up, but Fofana does his work and puts it out for a throw. Caicedo, or Casemiro, sorry, get those two mixed up. Fernandez, now Ahmad, back to try and find Fernandez. Well blocked by Colwill. And cleared away by Chelsea. United starting to respond. Trying to find another goal. Diogo Dalot. Now to Casemiro. Down the line to Ahmad. Finds the little gap of space. Ahmad breaks into the middle. Looks to switch it out to the left. James in the way. Neto trying to link it back up with Reece James, who knocks it off Garnacho and will win the throw in. Will Reece James? Well, I talked about Champions League action, which is coming up here in LFS in the week, but these two are in action on Thursday night. Of course, in the Europa League and Europa Conference League, respectively. United face PAOK, hard to say that one, here at Old Trafford on Thursday night. Chelsea are also at home on Thursday. They face FC Noah in the UEFA Conference League. Both 8 o'clock kickoffs on Thursday nights. Before they next play in the Premier League, both are also at home next weekend as well. United, this is their it will be their 4th successive home game next weekend at home to Leicester. 2 o'clock kickoff next Sunday. And Chelsea also in action next Sunday as they host Arsenal at Stamford Bridge next Sunday at 4:30. So the interesting stat is that all of Ruud van Nistelrooy's games in charge of Manchester United will be at home. As after the Leicester game, Ruben Amorim will take charge. Here's Neto. Now James into the box. Headed away by Dallo. Now Ahmad tries to come away with it for United, but Cucurella on his case. Does well to get it back to Dallo, does Ahmad. And now the ball into the middle, finds Fernandez. And the other Fernandez gets in the way of it. But Pedro Neto has to get back to help with Mazraoui, and Garnacho has it stolen off him by Neto. Enzo Fernandez back to Colwell. Out to the left hand side it comes to Mudryk. He wants to drive infield. Mikhailo Mudryk, well closed down by Casemiro. Pretty simple challenge really, as Bruno Fernandes was unhappy that he felt he was fouled. The referee gave the free kick and they've taken it quickly, United. Garnacho, nowhere to go, has to come back to Mazraoui. 7.5 minutes of normal time to go. Man United 1, Chelsea 1. De Ligt. Trying to battle there was Ahmad and Cucurella, and ultimately the ball went out for a throw in to Manchester United. Double substitution coming through Manchester United here. Joshua Zirkzee is going to replace Rasmus Højlund. And Victor Lindelof is going to be the other substitution. And he is going to replace Manuel Ugarte. So Lindelof and Zirkzee on, and Højlund and Ugarte off for Man United. And I'm taking up from that Victor Lindelof will play in Manuel Ugarte's position in defensive midfield. There he is. Back it comes to Martinez. Now De Ligt. Flecked on by Fernandez. Zirkzee on the ball. First couple of touches. In on goal. Keeps it alive. Lays it off now to Ahmad. Just gets it squeezed out to Garnacho. Now on the edge of the box, Garnacho has nowhere to go again. But Neto winning it back easily. Off him. And now charging down the right hand side comes Neto. He's taken down by Casemiro. And a free kick to Manchester United. Or to Chelsea, sorry. And a yellow card as well coming for Casemiro, who was screaming at one of his teammates. I think he was screaming at Alejandro Garnacho, making it a bit easy for Neto to get away. And I would have to agree with Casemiro on that one, because I mean, Garnacho had nowhere to go and then allowed Pedro Neto to just steal the ball away from him. And that gets Casemiro a booking. Believe it or not, only his first of the season. It's the biggest shock of the day. At 5 minutes plus additional time to go, Chelsea have this free kick on the right hand side. It's a good distance away, but it's certainly a good chance for a delivery here. Reece James over it. Rolls it straight to Palmer. Don't want to whip it in. Here's Neto, who will cross it. Neto up in the air by Casemiro. Zirkzee couldn't get it clear. Enzo Fernandez spins it back out to Neto. But the other, Bruno Fernandes, heads it out for a Chelsea throw-in. Neto. James back to Caicedo. What would a win do for either of these two teams at this late stage? Enzo Fernandez. Mudryk again trying to step in, but went down. Referee said no foul. Play on. Here's Cucurella. Now Fernandez. Back to Caicedo. Through the lines, lovely ball to Mudryk. Skips past onto his left, and I try to find it onto his right, but well blocked by Bruno Fernandes, and out for the Chelsea corner. It's Palmer that's now on the edge of the box. Chelsea corner taken short. Reece James breaks away. Cucurella now. Caicedo fizzes it back out to Mudryk. Now flicked on for Palmer. Palmer across. And gathered by Onana. That could have been nervy. And Andre Onana spotted it, smelt it, anticipated it, and gathered it. Now aerial tussle in the middle again. Neto wins it back for Chelsea. Here's Enzo Fernandez. Edge of the box. Plays it forward to Mudryk. Mudryk across. Again into the hands of Onana. To gather easily. And look at that. The action areas in the last 5 minutes. Only 5% of the ball has been in Chelsea's defensive third. The other 95% have been in the middle or final third for Chelsea. As Fernandez tried to go over the top to try and get past Mazraoui, but well blocked by the United left back. This Nusir Mazraoui, he's been probably one of United's best players today. And now links it up with Casemiro, out to Ahmad on the right hand side. 2 minutes to go. Ahmad up against Mudryk. Back to Casemiro, whips it in. Away by Colwell, back in by Lindelof. Now falls to Garnacho. Was rising and always rising, but rose just too far over the bar. Great opportunity. Another one gone a begging. Seeing it again, the strike from Garnacho kind of takes it off balance and just swipes at it. And it looked to be arrowing towards that top corner, but it just evades. They've won it back again, United. Garnacho now to Bruno Fernandes. Try to find it through. Bruno Fernandes over the bar. Absolutely cleanly swiped at it, that one. Did the United captain. And it went sailing into the Stratford end. Goal kick to Chelsea. Certainly, both sides want to win. You can feel it. They're edging for a winner. At what end it will come, if it does come, is anybody's guess. It took to the 101st minute to find a winner last time, when Chelsea won the game. Through into Chelsea, as we will have 4 added minutes at the end of this game at Old Trafford. 4 more minutes for a winner to be found. Certainly the time. But will we get one? James, all the way across it comes to Colwell. Chelsea trying to find something with Mudryk. Almost gets it stole away from him, but Enzo Fernandez there to mop it up. And when Chelsea a throw in on the left hand side, taken quickly by Cucurella. Enzo Fernandez trying to get the bounce of ball forward, but into the box it comes, and no real threat for Chelsea there. And easily gathered by Andre Onana for United. Xerxes with a flick on. Garnacho in behind. Alejandro Garnacho with a cross. Overhits. Still alive. Fernandez to deliver. Into the box. Xerxes was there. Just couldn't reach it. And Chelsea get it clear. Martinez trying to flick forward, but Neto there to intercept again. Low bundled to the floor. And there will be a free kick to Chelsea. Man United thought it was for them. And the referee points in the opposite direction. And a free kick goes the way of Chelsea. Yeah, Mazraoui and Neto in a tussle there. And Neto gets kind of taken out, taken out by Garnacho. And then as Neto falls to the ground, he kind of collides with Mazraoui. But the foul on Neto was just before that. Great decision by the referee. Under the pressure of the Old Trafford crowd, which some have claimed that home crowds can affect the referee's decision making. Not referees that are good at their job, it doesn't. And that was a good decision. Here's Garnacho. Now Bruno Fernandes. Try to find Xerxes again, but maybe rushed it a slight bit as Chelsea intercept, and Neto clears away. Palmer tries to flick it past his man, and Martinez gives away the foul, but the referee plays advantage, which there was none to be, and the referee will pull it back for a Chelsea free kick. And Martinez might be on the end of a yellow card. He will be. And Lisandro Martinez becomes another one of United's players that gets booked. Certainly the Old Trafford crowd G'ing the decisions, not particularly happy, but I think it is the correct one. 5 yellow cards now for Manchester United this afternoon at Skull. Oh, emotions boiling over here a slight bit. I mean, the players just getting a bit ridiculous. All this. It's not a Champions League final, relax yourself. VAR checking for a possible red card on this situation though. Oh, Martinez does clip the knee of Palmer, and I think this might be overturned. I think... No, it's not going to be overturned. He gets lucky. Martinez, I've just seen it again. It is yellow on the field, but he kind of just flicks at it. Yeah, maybe lucky to get away with one there. But I think maybe just erring on the side of caution and not wanting to give out unnecessary red cards. A yellow has been given. Checked by VAR Michael Salisbury and cleared. Yellow card it will stand for Lisandro Martinez, his 4th yellow of the season. And we've now played over the 4 added minutes, but I'm sure there'll be a bit more added on at the end. Nicholas Jackson also got a yellow card in the mix there. 4th yellow card for him of the season, for whatever the scuffle was afterwards. And maybe one last chance for Chelsea now. 4 minutes are up. Ahmad also got a yellow card as well in the mix. Lots of yellow cards there. Reece James to take the free kick. Up into the air, away by Casemiro. Cucurella keeps it alive though. Palmer. Cole Palmer, not given the room to shoot. He will try it again. The shot deflected. Still alive. Mudryk flicked on by Enzo Fernandez, but cleared away by United. Back it comes with Caicedo. He will go back to Sanchez. He's got no time to play it backwards. Sanchez hooks it up the field. Delict with the header. Casemiro brings it under control, and now United have a chance forward. Garnacho breaks down the left. Lots of bodies back for Chelsea. Is there room for United? Ball across! And it's cleared behind by Caicedo, who just got there ahead of Joshua Xerxes in the middle. There was always going to be one more chance. Is there maybe I think this is going to go for a corner, and it will do. Is there one last opportunity for Chelsea, or for Manchester United, and one last corner for Chelsea to defend, as Martinez brought down in the box? He goes down. I don't know what he's going down for. Wasting a bit of time, probably. We're now into the 7th minute of added time. One more corner, and that's surely it in this game. Can Man United snatch it at the death, like Chelsea did to them earlier this year? Bruno Fernandes to take this corner. The roof would come off Old Trafford if this was to go in. Ruud van Nistelrooy watches on. Fernandez, right-footed delivery, away at the front post. And that, anticlimactically, is that. A draw between these two for the first time in 4 years. And a draw at Old Trafford which sees Ruud van Nistelrooy continue unbeaten in his little reign as Manchester United interim head coach. Chelsea will probably feel a bit annoyed that they maybe couldn't take a bit more than just a point out of this one, considering their performance today. But really, it was a lack of quality, a lack of endurance and perseverance from either side, and really in the end, a penalty and a screamer of a strike are what sees us end with a draw here at Old Trafford. Final score, Manchester United 1, Chelsea 1. And that is us. 9 games down, 1 to go. Fulham and Brentford in the London Derby tomorrow night on the Monday Night Football is to come. European action continues Tuesday and Wednesday night as the Champions League returns for Matchday 4. So, big defeats for Arsenal, Manchester City. Liverpool sit top of the Premier League table. Tottenham breaching in. Chelsea failing to make it into third, but they're in the top 4. United with another point on the board. They're in 13th. A topsy-turvy, up and down weekend in the Premier League, and it all comes to a close tomorrow. Liverpool sit top, Wolves sit bottom. The Premier League is well and truly on course for another exciting season. Thanks for joining us. Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.